Hey, welcome back. Once again, it's Pappy time. Today, I'm going to be fixing some steak and potatoes because I'm a meat and potatoes kind of guy. It's just how I roll around here. Stopped by my local market today and picked up roughly a pound of steak, sirloin steak, and I also picked up some shredded hash browns. I haven't cooked this exact brand before, but I'm going to give it a shot. Okay, for the meat, what we're going to do is we're going to use a little bit of oil because it's an air fryer. We only need a little bit, and we'll just spritz it on when we put the meat in, and just a little bit of light salt and pepper seasoning. It doesn't take much, and I might even add a little bit of salt to the potatoes. Haven't quite decided yet. We're going to take the potatoes and we're going to, with a little bit of oil, prepare those in the electric skillet. Meat preparation is pretty straightforward. We open it up and we get it a little bit lightly salted there. Just a little bit of pepper. I'll use a little bit of the red pepper because I like flavor. Wife's not here at the moment. Sometimes you gotta mix it a little bit to get any out. There we go, there we go. That gets a little bit out. Now, when I'm doing meat like this, I'll put it in grill mode rather than just regular air fry mode. That, however, requires a little bit of preheating. So I'm gonna put it in, switch it to grill mode. I'm going to set the timer for, let's see, that's a decent sized piece of meat. I'm going to set it for 12 minutes. The temperature looks good. And I'll push start. It's going to beep at me in a few minutes when it's good and hot. At that point, I'll add the meat. And that's about when I will plug in the electric skillet and also start the potatoes as soon as I get the meat going. Because the potatoes won't take very long at all. Okay, it's time to add some food. It's telling me to open it up. Take my meat and put it in place. Oh, already got a little sizzle going there. Oh, look, the liner just came right out of that. Kind of wanted to try out the new liner. Move the meat, set that back down, set the meat on top of it. Much better. I've already salted and peppered both sides. I'm just going to put a little shot of oil in there. Set that in place. And it should start. And away we go. Alrighty, now at this point what we're going to do is we're going to get our potatoes going. So first thing we're going to do is add a few tablespoons of oil. Turn on the heat over here. I'm going to set that for, I don't know, this thing runs pretty hot. I'm going to set it for a little shy of 300. And I'm going to give it a second to warm up. And then I'm going to put in my potatoes. I'll open this up. There's a lot of, I don't know how to, there you go, you can see it. You can kind of see it. I'm going to get a, that won't work real well. Let's use this one. We'll use ourselves a nice rubber spatula to mix these with. Now they only need 7 or 8 minutes, which is about how much time I have left on the meat. So I'm going to dump in about half of all my potatoes. The other half I'm going to stick back in the fridge for later because I'm the only one eating here tonight. And I can already hear that it's getting hot. I'm just going to spread those taters out. Get them nice and crisp. And in a couple minutes we're going to flip those puppies. Just like we're going to flip the meat here in a minute and have a look-see at it. Now we are about halfway through the cycle with the meat. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this for just a second. Oh, it's looking all brown and pretty. Flip that over. Just add just a little bit more salt and pepper because I didn't put a whole lot on there the first time. Put the salt on anyway. Just a light spritz of oil. Doesn't take much. With an air fryer, it barely takes any. Close that back up again and let the heat do its magic. And in about 6 minutes, it's going to be good to go. Meanwhile, back with the potatoes, starting to come along, and they're getting just the first hint of brown. You don't have to stir these continuously, but you do have to flip them with some regularity because you don't want them burning. And they're going to be delicious, but not if they're burnt. Uh-oh, now look at that. Air fryer's done. Let's stop the machine, open it up, and see what we're up against. Oh, what a beautiful piece of sirloin that is. You can't really see that there. Now can you see? Oh my goodness, look at that. It looks delish. If we were to flip that over, you see it's very nicely done on the other side. It should still be pink in the middle because we didn't let her go too long. What I'm going to do is I'm going to plate this and let it rest for a few minutes while the potatoes finish up. Now if you're thinking, well, that might be a failure of time because these potatoes aren't done yet, it's okay. The meat should rest about 5 minutes, and I kind of took that into account. Hopefully I wasn't too far off. But we're getting a little bit of browning going on here, and we just want to get it a little bit browner, and then we'll be ready to plate it and dig in. Now here's something I really love about hash browns. If you've ever eaten at a Waffle House, you know you can put pretty near anything on or in hash browns. I have a surprise ingredient today. I got some Colby Jack cheese, some grated Colby Jack that I've had in the fridge. I'm going to pull some of that and I'm going to pour some of that over it. You could add chopped onions, you could add peppers, you could add hamburger or shredded beef, you could even add chicken, you could add sausage, you could put a fried egg on top, you could scramble an egg into it. Hash browns are so very versatile, and I was looking at that and I was thinking to myself, what could I do to make them just a little bit more exciting? And I thought, well, what I could do is I could pull out some of this grated cheese I got and sprinkle that over it. And that's going to heat up, and in no time at all, this is going to be ready to pull off and put on a plate. And I'm just going to put my cheese back in the fridge while that's warming up. And now look at that, I'm back. So we can see that that's already starting to melt. We'll give that just a short amount of time here as it's browning and melting. Now, if you like to make your hash browns into more of a patty, well, look at that. The cheese does a magnificent job of holding it together. I don't actually really want it that way. It just sort of worked out. So as it's cooking, we can flip it just one last time or two. And before you know it, these are going to be ready to pull off and eat. I'm just almost impatient. I just want to pull it off and chow down. So, without further ado, let's do it. Okay, now I hope you all can see that pretty well. We've got our steak, we've got our potatoes, and it's time for the taste test. The meat's had a chance to rest for, a good 5 minutes. And potatoes look done and ready. I'm just going to cut into the piece of this corner here. Let's get something a little more centralized and see how this looks. Now, meat's got nice brown. If I can hold this up without spilling any juice, hold this up to the camera. Okay, you can see that it's nice and brown on the outside. It's got a nice pink interior. I'd call that medium to, well, I'd just call it medium. Okay, you could go a little more rare if you want. You could go a little more done if you want. I wouldn't, but you could. And, that right there is a nice manly piece of beef. And just to be fair, to give the potatoes a chance, I kind of wish I had some diced up onions I could have put in that. Could use a little something. But here's the great thing. When you fix this, you can do whatever you want with it. Like I told you before. Onions, peppers, eggs, meat, whatever you want. Put it on a bun. I mean, if that makes you happy, go for it. And if you need a quick go-to meal, though, there's definitely an option. Well, I'll tell you what, that's about it for Pappy Time for today. So, if you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, hit that little notification bell thingy, and I'll catch you next time.